They'll be haunted by everything they took for granted. You're giving them a gift, you know, the gift of regret. And it's the one thing they can't throw away, can't deny. It'll follow them to their graves. And you'll walk away without looking back, free of their chains, free of the prison they tried to build around you. You'll rise from the ashes, stronger, wiser, untouchable. Remember this, when you leave, the world opens up for you. It becomes yours to shape, to build on your terms. Their emptiness becomes your opportunity. And if they try to find you, try to get back what they lost, you look them in the eyes and you let them know they had their chance and they blew it. Let them drown in the silence, in the memories of every single thing they lost. That void, that's the space they'll sit in day after day while you rise above it all. That's your victory, the sweetest revenge. Knowing that when you're gone, you'll finally matter to them more than you ever did, because you'll be the one thing they can never get back. See, they're used to playing people like pawns. Move them here, push them there, set them up just to knock them down. You, though, you were different. You were the one thing they couldn't predict, couldn't control. Oh, they tried. They chipped away, wore you down, thought if they kept piling on their garbage, you'd break eventually. But you didn't, did you? No, you stood there, day in, day out. You endured. You took their words, their judgments, all the lies, and you kept going. They didn't understand how you could be so strong, so unbreakable. But strength, real strength, it doesn't come from what you say or how loud you shout. It comes from what you carry and keep going. But that's the part that scares them. Deep down, they know you don't need them. Not a single one of them. It's why they tried to drag you down, keep you under their thumb. You were a mirror they couldn't stand to look at. A reminder of everything they'll never be. And that's why they'll feel it when you leave. They'll feel it in every silent moment, every empty room, every face they pass that isn't yours. They're about to learn that when you cut someone down, you don't just hurt them. You wound yourself. You make a mess you can never clean up. And once you're gone, they'll have no one left to blame, nowhere left to hide. They'll sit there alone with their lies, their excuses, all the times they told themselves they were better than you, and it'll eat them alive. Let me tell you something. Regret is a funny thing. It doesn't just show up, take a bow, and leave. No, it digs in, takes root. It becomes part of you, part of your mind, your heart, your bones. And that's the beauty of it.
Please take this short break from your video to support our channel by getting yourself merch. Enjoy the rest of the video.
Because the same people who tried to break you will end up broken by the absence of you. They'll choke on the silence, on the void they created with their own hands. The silence will be deafening, and they'll never be able to fill it. Think about that for a second. Think about the irony. The ones who thought you'd be nothing without them will find themselves lost without you. That's justice, isn't it? True, raw justice. You don't need to fight, don't need to scream, don't need to stoop to their level. All you gotta do is walk away. That's it. Let them deal with the aftermath. People like that, they're parasites. They latch on, drain you of everything you have, and then discard you like an empty shell. But what they don't realize is that they've been feeding off you for so long, they don't know how to live without you. They'll learn real quick that a parasite without a host doesn't last long. Their whole existence will start unraveling the minute you're gone. And while they're falling apart, scrambling, clutching at anything to keep them afloat, you'll be out there, free. Free from their games, their lies, their endless toxic need to control. You'll finally be able to breathe without that weight on your back, without that constant fear of being stabbed by the very people you once trusted. You know what else? They'll try to replace you. Oh yeah. They'll scramble looking for someone, anyone, to take your place, to fill that space. But every single time, they'll come up empty. Because there's only one of you. One. And you, my friend, you're unforgettable. They'll find people who try to fill your shoes, but none of them will ever be you. And every day that passes, every poor imitation they surround themselves with will just remind them of how good they had it, how they messed up, how they lost something rare. It'll haunt them in the quiet moments, in the dead of night, when there's no one around, and all they've got is their own regret whispering in their ears. That's their fate. That's the punishment they handed themselves on a silver platter. So don't you dare look back. Don't you dare feel sorry for them. They made this bed. Now let them rot in it. They took your kindness for weakness, your loyalty for granted. They thought you'd stick around no matter how much they tore you apart. But now it's your time to walk, your time to rise above. They'll tell themselves lies to cope, to make sense of the emptiness, but deep down, they'll know. They'll know they pushed you too far, that they took something real, something rare, and smashed it just because they could. That'll be their truth. And it'll cut deeper than anything they ever did to you. But you'll keep moving forward. You'll take every scar, every wound, every lesson, and you'll build yourself into something stronger than they could ever imagine. You'll be the phoenix rising from the ashes, untouchable, unstoppable. And every time they see you, every time they hear your name, it'll remind them of what they lost and what they can never get back. That's the real revenge. Not some grand explosion, not some big showdown. No, the real revenge is living, moving on, becoming everything they thought you couldn't be. They'll be stuck, chained to their regrets, haunted by their choices.